watchers, it's that time for your weekly intake of glitz, glamour and girly chat. Yes, it's the show where we only talk about what makes us girls tick. Well, I have to admit, when I first became a wag, I knew that little about the sport. I didn't even suss it out when Jason kept inviting me back to his to see the third leg of the game. Well, today's wag has been around so long, she probably remembers when the scoreboard was in Roman numerals. Well, we only get the best on Wag's World, and she is the best. It's the one and only Angie Best.
Cheers.
Cheers, Angie. Welcome to Wag's World, Angie Best.
Thank you, my darling. I started Wag's World, I want you to know.
Well, I know you are the self-proclaimed Queen of the Wags.
Self-proclaimed, yes I am. No, I'm not, because I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what a wag was. Only England could label gorgeous and glamorous girls. The rest of the world loves them. They love them. They don't have to give them a label. It's this male-dominated society we live in has to give them labels.
Let's start from the beginning, in the early days, because you started off as a model.
I did.
Playboy bunny.
Only for 2 weeks.
Only for 2 weeks, Playboy bunny?
Yeah, see, George, God bless him, had an accident outside Harrods. He'd rammed his car into a...
I'm going to laugh, sorry. It's going to be full of accidents.
Yeah.
Right.
He smashed his car into a lamppost outside Harrods, and the newspaper said, George goes early Christmas shopping, God bless him. Well, he was legless. So I went to see him in the hospital, and when I went in, there was George in his hospital bed, trussed up, you know, broken everything, with some rather nice girl doing a Monica Lewinsky on him. A nurse.
It is a family show, Angie, we've got to remember. Right?
Oh, is it?
That's okay. Yeah, continue,
Sorry,
I like it, yeah.
So I said, OK, I can't put up with this anymore.
Right.
So I thought, all right, my job during the day was a model, so I've got to get a night job. So I went to the bunny club, and I said, I need a night job. And they said, great, fantastic. So they put me in the outfit, put me on casino reception. All the other girls hated me because I walked in and took the prime job, so they hated me. I would come to work every night, as we all did, and they would be growling under their breath.
Really bitchy.
But what Serena did, the head bunny at the time, was use it as a publicity piece, saying that I won't be George's doormat.
Hey.
So...
Because there's so much about you being the plain...
Oh, it was
bunny.
2 weeks, and I wasn't a bunny. It was just a 2-week thing just to keep me busy at night, so I didn't stress about my man.
Well, the press loved it. You didn't stress
of course
about
they
your
did.
man. But you started off with... we're going back to the early days. So
that was the early days. That was before I married him.
That was before you married him.
Yeah.
Weren't you a model in LA? Was you...
New York.
New York.
And when I went to LA, I started teaching exercise. That was my job. I couldn't stand the modelling. It was too...
Yeah.
But I did that in New York for a year. Then I went to LA and started teaching exercise because I was a dancer with Richard Simmons at a place called Roughage and the Anatomy Asylum.
My goodness. That's a mouthful.
That's quite a name. And Richard Simmons went on to become the #1 health guru in America.
Yeah, very famous.
When I had my classes, I had Priscilla Presley, Maud Adams, Britt Eklund and Cher. All these were the girls who came to my classes.
Kidding.
But remember, this was...
Just a few little celebrities.
Well, but it was so long ago that they were just little starlets. They weren't yet celebrities. They were starlets.
Up and coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who wanted to... This was the new thing, was to exercise, so there they were. After about a year of my classes, Cher said to me, will you be my personal assistant?
Fantastic.
And I said, well, I don't really know how to be your personal assistant, but I'll gladly... She said, well, I just need you to work me out every day. I said, that's easy.
Tell me when and how, what happened when the legendary footballer
walked into my life.
Walked into your life, George, and was it, as you said in your book, it was love at first sight?
I was living at Cher's house and working with her, and we were on the road, and we were...
You actually lived with her?
Yeah.
Oh. You got yourself in there, didn't you? Right.
See, but I didn't plan it. It just all unfolded in front of me. It all just happened, which was kind of how it works for me in my whole life. But anyway,
yes.
It just happened. I was teaching class, she wanted me, I had a commodity that was good, and it just all happened. So I got a phone call from this man to say, he called the house, and they said, this is for you, and hello. I'm having a party for a man called George Best. And I thought, I know that name. I thought, OK, yeah, he's English. Would you like to come? I said, no, he's not English, you daft bugger. He's Irish. But that's
you knew he played football. You knew of him.
I knew who he was. So I went. I took my girlfriend with me. We walked into this house and to this party. There were 5 men and 50 women. Now, you think if I was smart, I would have seen there and then.
Yes, and you should have known better.
Well, at the time, I was dating Ricky Martin. He was Dean Martin's son.
Right.
And I looked at my girlfriend and I said, we don't need this. So I went up and I said, nice to meet you, Mr. Best. I think you're rather... I'm a spare part here, so I'll see you later. And we left. And...
Then what happened?
So 2 weeks later, the same guy calls Cher's house again and says, George is having a party down at his bar in Hermosa Beach. I said, no, I'm not driving to Hermosa Beach. He said, oh, I'll pick you up.
Yeah?
Well, you think I'd have, hello, Ange. You think the buttons would have gone off, but they didn't. So I said, OK. Because I remember when I saw this little man and I looked into those blue eyes and that dimple and that smile and that black hair, oh, whoa.
Well, it was love. Angie was gone.
Yes.
Really?
Poor Ricky, he said to me, when I told him I was going to marry George, he said, why? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I thought, how do I tell him? But anyway...
Seriously, it was really love at first sight.
Yeah, it was one. But you know what I think it was? And this is going to sound very out there, but it's the truth. The reason George and I had to get together was because Callum wanted to be born.
Oh.
And Callum was up there choosing who he wanted his mum and dad to be.
That's a nice way to look at it, actually.
Yes, because of the life lessons he has to learn, he had to choose the right mum and dad. Anyway, so I went out to this party for George. This guy picks me up, and God bless him, I can't remember his name.
We got a lift.
And anyway, he drove me out there, and we show up at this bar, and there's not a soul there, except George, standing at the bar. And I laughed, and he said, there's no party, I just wanted to see you again.
Naughty Irish.
Here's the best bit, here's the best bit. I'm standing there for 10 minutes. And we're talking and laughing, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, this guy's gorgeous. And this girl walks up to me out of nowhere and throws a drink in my face.
That night?
Right there. I'm only there 10 minutes.
God, you should have known it was trouble.
Well, this is the beginning, and then it gets worse. And I was gobsmacked, because nobody's ever done anything like this to me. And I said to George, who's that? And he said, oh, it's just a girl. The bartender told me it was George's girlfriend. So then when I come back to see him again, I go, a few nights later, I drove down to see him because I was completely smitten, wasn't I? I go out to my car, all 4 tyres are slashed.
Oh, my word. So you've got a bunny boiler on your hands.
I get a phone call from my mother. She says, darling, this poor boy is beside himself. You must speak to him. I said, Mother, I want nothing to do with him. I can't speak to him. No, darling. Mother, I'll never forgive you for this. You must speak to him, darling. The poor boy's beside himself.
So he's got round your mum?
Yeah.
Right.
So I called him up. I said, hi, George. Don't hang up, don't hang up. I said, I'm not going to hang up. I miss you so much. I'm so sorry. Will you marry me? Oh, Jesus. Nobody'd ever asked me to marry them before.
What, so you must have been so surprised over the phone?
Over the phone. I thought, oh, my Lord. I said, all right, well, I'll tell you where I live, come and see me. Now, he told me that prior to that, he knew I was in Beverly Hills somewhere. He used to come to Beverly Hills, drive up around the mountains and stand on top and say, Ange, where are you? And he used to scream my name out.
That's what he said he used to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Bless him.
So, Angie, this man...
it was such a wonder... I tell you, it was a wonderful, wonderful... Even though it was hideous and horrible. I mean, that's what life's about. Enjoy it. So, Angie, as you said, you and George, something wonderful did come out of your marriage, produced gorgeous Callum. But does it worry you, with George's lifestyle, how it's going to affect Callum? And, as all the papers and the tabloids say, like, Callum's got a girl and every port sort of thing. Because they just like his father. They've got that charm. That we can do nothing about. The other part of his life, the drinking, I worry about that on a daily basis. But I put little vitamin packs together for my son.
Oh, bless you.
I put in nutrients that will help crave the cravings, that will help clean his liver. He does a liver cleanse regularly, so I also know that my son has my genes as well as his father's, and mine are very strong too. So I know that he has come out of this fog that he was in when Father died. I said to Callum, when I came over to see George when he was dying, I said to Callum, tell your dad what you want to tell him now. Ask him what you want to ask him now. I said, because you won't have another opportunity.
The regret, sort of thing.
And he couldn't. George couldn't speak. You know, it was so sad. So sad, because the hope in Callum's heart, you know, you can go through anything in life if you've got hope. And you can put up with anything if you've got hope. And it was the same way for me. I always hoped that one day George would see the light and he'd sober and he'd say, everything in life is so much worth it to stay sober for. But he never did. And for Callum...
You must have felt that for Callum, that he couldn't be sober for his son.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really, really sad. And when George died, Callum went off the rails, and I knew he would. For a couple of years, he just went... Everybody just grabbed him, and he just went
Must
for that...
Must have been hard for you as a mother to read in the papers and see, thinking he's going the same way as his father.
I always knew that wouldn't happen. I never gave in to that thought. I couldn't give in to that thought, because I have hope.
And when you heard the news of George's passing, what was your immediate... Did you knew this... I mean, you knew he was obviously very ill, but how did you feel it emotionally?
It's still difficult for me.
Okay.
And I'm still going to get teary-eyed, because I always had hope.
Oh, no, I know you loved him, I know. The hope that he would pull through, yeah.
And that he would one day be the George I wanted him to be, you know?
Yeah. Because he was so loved and by everybody. He did have something very, very special. And it's such a shame that the drink and
he didn't
everything...
see that.
No.
You know?
No. And when, you know, I know at the funeral was very, very tough, but you were the only woman out of all the women in his life that was actually at the graveside.
That's only because I had to be there for Callum. You know, Callum needed me. So, so they allowed me in.
Yeah.
You know, the powers that be, that best family.
I know it was very, very tough with the best family, because I know Alex wanted to be there.
And the best family are non-communicative people. They don't know how to communicate, which was half of poor George's problem. There was no communication. They were scared of him. They didn't say, George, stop it. You know, pull yourself together. They never spoke about his drinking.
Well, he needed some tough love, didn't he? And they didn't ever do that.
They were completely... In my mind, I'm still mad at them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't step forward, step up to the plate, pull their bloody finger out and do something about their boy.
But how... You know, I just remember watching the funeral, because obviously it was something like... I'd not seen anything like it since, really, Princess Diana died. I mean, it was such a big... At Stormont, wasn't it? And Callum spoke, so you must have been so proud of your son that day, because he spoke so well.
I cannot begin to tell you how proud I was. I just looked at that boy, and all the love I had for his father, you know, is in that boy. And I look at him, and he is so special. He's got everything his father had, and he's also Callum.
Oh, he's lovely. I know Callum. He's lovely.
My little man.
He is, he's gorgeous. Well, darling, with all this wonderful knowledge you have...
Now what have you done to my makeup?
I'm sorry to make you cry, Angie. I didn't mean to make you cry.
I can't help it.
I know, and it's tough to talk about. But with all this wonderful knowledge you have and experience, I feel it's going to waste. What can we do? Can't we do something?
Let's find a wag, or a wannabe wag.
A wannabe wag.
And show her the road. Show her how to groom, how to look good, and how to go out there in a classy way.
Bit of class. Can we bestow Angie Best wisdom?
Yeah.
Right.
And that would be, don't marry him.
Yeah. Well, join us, please, for part 2, and we're going to Angie Best's Wag School. Stay with us. Now, Angie, we've ventured back to your hometown of Southend United to get to the heart of what makes you Queen Wag. Now, what a better way than you giving your knowledge to a wannabe wag, and I've got just the girl for you. You're going to love me. It's Charlie Ucha from Big Brother.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Charlie, you ready for this?
I am.
Andrew, you?
You think so?
I am. We're going to have fun.
Angie, take it away.
So the first thing, Charlie, my love, is you have to look the part. And I have a few frocks. I'll go get them.
So, Charlie, tell me, what is your association with football?
Well, basically, my cousin's a football player, and I've dated a few Premiership
play
footballers. He played for Manchester United and now Sunderland, and we love Sunderland.
Woo. And you've been out with a few, haven't you?
Dated, not done anything else than that.
Good girl.
Been to a few restaurants and stuff like that. It's been dead good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my
darling.
darlings. Now, I like this leopard skin one, personally, but...
Why do you prefer this?
Well, I just think it's a little classy. I just think it looks very classy.
Leopard skin is always a bit
no,
waggish.
it's too dark for you. It's too dark for you.
I
Sorry.
actually think it's quite dull and boring, to be honest with you, as well. Not saying you don't know.
Doesn't matter what you think, my precious one. It's what I think that we're imparting here
Charlie,
today.
you've been told. Listen
Now,
to the guru.
This one, two-party-ish. All right, this is the one.
So do you think by me wearing this, I'm actually going to bag myself a Premiership footballer? I mean, what's my chances?
Not just the frock, it's the whole package. You've got to look the part to get his attention. You're going to be the classy version.
I'm excited.
And we're going to put this on, because I think this is these
Oh, that's
colours.
beautiful, the colour.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Charlie, that
you.
would really
Okay.
suit you.
All right, so you go put this on, my love.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.
All right.
Angie, do you think there's any hope?
Well, there is. We're going to work on the hair, the makeup, eyelashes, lip gloss, of course.
Of course, lip gloss.
She's already got white teeth. But, you know, none of that matters. What we have to do first, she has to get a man.
She's got to bag a footballer.
Yeah.
How does she do that?
Okay, so she has to get herself in OK Magazine. She has to come to
I'll sort
the
that.
games.
Right.
She has to sit not near any of the other wags. On her own, director's box, of course. Big dark sunglasses.
I like the glasses.
Very demure. No cheering.
No cheering.
Oh, God, George used to tell me off something rotten if I cheered.
Angie, I used to scream.
No cheering.
No
You have
cheering.
to sit demurely
Okay.
and be very happy when your man scores the goal, because he's not going to be hugging you, he's going to be hugging the other players.
What if he scores a goal in the other net like my husband used to do?
Oh, no!
Okay,
Look for another man.
Forget that.
Look for another man. Okay, so a little cleavage, not too much.
Like this?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, I see. Oh, pro. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got her in the press. They've
Okay.
seen her. They wonder who she is because she's looking so beautiful and demure and elegant.
Right.
Now she's in the press. So, of course, the players are going to want to know who she is.
Ah, of course. But Angie, why can't she sit with the other footballers' wives and girlfriends? Why not?
Well, because she's the new girl.
She's a new girl on the block.
Yes, they will be very jealous. They will want to know who she is. She's got to create something about her. So she's got to sit by herself.
But then does she need to tone it down? Because they'll all be looking at her if she's over the top with a big handbag and big glasses.
No, that's good. We want them to look at...
She's coming. Right, okay.
Oh, lovely, darling.
darling.
Very nice. I think we can cover these up a little bit, though.
I quite like that bit.
No, well, you would, wouldn't you?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with big boobies.
No, they're beautiful, but we don't want all the girls
That's-
being jealous of you.
Oh, okay.
And if you're sticking them out, they will be.
But have you got it? Flaunt it? But not.
No,
Okay.
not when you're... Once you've got your man, then you can. But
Right.
first we want to be demure, elegant, classy,
Rather than trashy, the same old go you see at each club. Not that there's many of them, but yeah, I know what you mean. So,
and we can slow that down as well.
What? We're talking about a speech?
Yes. Slow your speech down so when you're talking to your potential husband,
well, like, I like your eyes, they're very beautiful.
well, you see, then he'll be looking at your mouth and thinking, oh, she speaks nicely, and he'll want to kiss you. You have to impress them. It's not just about being a wag. You have to be something to impress your man before you become the wag.
So you've got to be somebody. She's somebody, Charlie,
I think I
somebody.
got that little bit of a name right.
You've got to have the right name though, Charlie. Okay. So you're liking the look, Angie?
Yes.
You're liking the dress, the hair,
Yes.
the face.
Yeah, I'd cover these up a little bit, but that's okay.
I
sun's
don't
shining.
mind them showing a little
No, I
bit.
know you don't.
But we better do what she says, because I'm scared of her. You've got to do what she
Well, the
says.
first thing, I'm going to take this away. You've had
What?
plenty of alcohol. You do not drink at a game. No,
Angie?
no alcohol. You've got to be demure ladies, not falling down drunk showing your knickers, okay?
Oh, well.
Maybe I don't wear any knickers. Anyway, okay? No drink. Right, Angie. Oh, I don't like this, Angie, at all.
Of course, but once you've got your man...
No champagne. Doesn't sound much fun.
It sounds a bit like, not like that, but it sounds a bit like Muslim men that want their women to cover up. It's kind of like, don't show tits, don't drink alcohol, be covered up. Also, I can see you in the bedroom. It's like, what about the guys that are out there? What about us? I want to look sexy.
It's not that extreme, my love. You can look sexy, but you don't have to show your tits to look sexy. See, this country's not very good at doing gorgeous and glamorous. We're very good at doing TNA, but not gorgeous and glamorous. So what we've got to bring out is the
TNA?
Tits and ass.
Oh, okay.
Very good at that, because we're a male-dominated society, but what we've got to bring out is the gorgeous and glamorous in us.
A bit of class.
Yes, you don't have to do TNA. They know you've got them, so you highlight them. You don't show them.
So when you got your man, how'd you keep him? And when, more importantly, can you start spending on his credit card?
Now, you can start spending on his credit card immediately, but you must not let the other wags know.
Oh.
Because then they'll get very jealous.
So the minute you date a footballer, you get his credit card and you go spending. Fendi, Gucci, maybe, yeah?
No, well, it depends on what club
Oh my God, the poor thing. Gucci's going to be skinned after a month with you.
That's why you go for Premiership, right? Or is that really bad?
No, what you do, you're very clever. What you do with that credit card is you buy him gifts. So you don't spend it on you.
Oh, okay.
You spend it on him.
You spend his own money on him?
Yes.
That's a new
Because then
one.
he said, have you been spending on my credit card? Yes, but darling, look what I got for you.
I love it. I like.
Oh, well, that's kind of sweet.
Then he thinks to himself, oh, she spent my money on me. Oh, well, what would you like, sweetness? Now you're not spending his money, he's giving it to you. You've got to be smart.
That's clever.
Babe,
Do you like
I hate
it?
to say it, Angie, but guess what? I'm starting to love you by the minute. And another thing...
Guys, I never thought I'd hear that.
Yeah, I love her. And this weekend, believe me, it's on. Not that I'm...
What, you and her going out?
Well, we can do that if you want.
Let's.
That'd be fun. And then throughout the night, you can teach me and tell me what I'm doing wrong and stuff like that, why I'm going wrong and how come I'm still not with a Premiership footballer.
I can't believe it, Angie, you did it. Man.
One down, 5,000 to go.
Gee, that's one scary lady. You don't want to not do what she says, Charlie, right? And you two are going out. I want to be a fly on the wall at that night out.
It'll be a fun night.
Oh, you're not invited, honey.
Hey, guys!
Bye.
No, we're having fish and chips on the pier. Hold on, wait for me. We forgot this. Wait. Well, that's it for today's show. Thank you to my wonderful guests, the lovely Angie Best and the gorgeous Charlie. Girls, I think we really accomplished something today. Hey,
Definitely.
high five. Woo!
I love it.
Our work here, it's done. So who's for fish and chips?
Yeah. Oh, me, I'm starved.
See you next time. Where did you meet Simon then? Was it?
In Nando's.
Oh,
Yeah, do you know what?
Nando's?
In Nando's, and...
It's not very glamorous.
It's not, is it?
But you've got to take me back
Okay, let's go back.
to the little girl, Nicola Tampenden.
Tappenden. Nearly said Tampondon then, didn't you? Oh, God. I just fancied him so much, and I used to write him poems and stuff. He didn't fancy me. I was a bit of a minger when I was younger.